What's up, you guys? I hope you are having a fantastic day. Welcome to Dress 3. If you are new here, my name's Julie and I'm a novice sewist working towards making my fantasy wardrobe a reality. Today we're going to be doing that by jumping into the third dress of our rap battle series. I am very excited for this one. When I saw this, I had to have it, and it was in all black and it felt so gorgeous. It was amazing, and I was like, I need that dress, exactly that dress. The pattern that I'm going to put up here, and don't worry, everything will be linked down below as well. Yeah, let's jump into it. For this wrap dress, I'm going to be using this beautiful, it's medium weight rayon challis, and it's so soft. This pattern, putting together, it went together fine, but it is huge. It is so big. It is 7 pieces of paper by 9 pieces of paper, no trimming. I just lined up the triangles. I didn't trim them. You can trim them. I didn't. I just lined them up. And it looks like how she's done this is made it to be everything goes on one layer of fabric, so there's no fold. It's not the best idea I've ever had. I don't exactly have a lot of room, but I'm sure I have I'm sure I have more room than a lot of people out there who've probably made this work.
Time stops when I'm falling for you. The world stops spinning. My head is spinning too.
I have all of the darts sewn. My brain shut off there for a second. And now I'm just gonna sew the shoulders together as well as the sides. And then we put together the arm band bias tape. So how they're gonna have us do is sew it together and then flip it around and sew it again. Like a thing. Oh, what they do have us doing is we are going to zigzag the edges first and finish off the edges first. And then we're going to leave a little piece on the left seam open in order to put the tie through. So instead of making a buttonhole, we're just leaving an open seam.
Time stops when I'm falling for you.
Okay, so I have the edges all zigzagged. So because this is the left side, we're gonna pin the 2 seams together and sew, leaving a 4 centimeter space on this side to not be sewn. So I'm probably gonna sew down here and up here and leave the 4 millimeter space like here, or the 4 centimeter space here, and then that will be our hole we put the rope through. That's not what it is, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I'm just going to do the other side, and then I'm going to sew them all together, and then, yeah, we'll move on to the armbands. Okay, so I have these all pinned. The armhole bias is all pinned to the outside, and so we're going to sew all the way around the armhole. At the underneath, I just folded the pieces over so that when we fold them over, the seam is there like that, and do a top stitch like that. I hope that makes sense, but that's what we're doing. Okay, I have the sleeves all bias seamed in, so now it's all nicely trimmed on the side. So now we're going to be working on the skirt. So I've got to put all the skirt pieces together and then sew them together, and then I'm just going to zigzag the edges. Yeah. I know y'all can't see out there, but we got so much snow. It's like halfway up my calf. We haven't had barely any snow this year, which is strange because usually we have a bunch. So this is the first like really big snowfall we've had all year, and it's February. She chilly. Okay, I have the skirt all sewn together. Look at how cute it is. It's very cute. It's very cute. Very cute skirt. Okay, next. What's next? I laid the front ruffles. Okay, so now I'm laying the front ruffles and the back ruffles over each other. This has to go down like that. This is the right. This is the left front skirt ruffle. What am I doing? Skirt ruffle? Skirt ruffle. Okay. I just went and took a little nap, so that's why my face looks like this. I know it looks like I've been sobbing, but this happens every time I nap, so we're just gonna ignore it and move on. I got all the ruffles pinned together. I'm actually very excited to get this skirt done and to see what it's gonna do. So I'm gonna pin the ruffles together. Nope. Hi, can I help you? No. I already have the ruffles pinned together, so I'm going to sew them together. I've got the ruffles for the skirt and the top pinned together, so I'm going to sew them all together, and then I'm going to zigzag the edges and then iron them out. And then we'll see what happens. so I have my, I don't remember. I think this is the smallest one. I think I grabbed the smallest one. 2 millimeters, 3 millimeters. I think it's 2 millimeters. Rolled hem foot. So I'm gonna hem all of the edges of the flounces, starting with the top. I think no. I'm gonna start with the bottom. That's why. That way, if I need some practice, I did practice on I did practice on a test piece of fabric, a rolled foot, just to get those memory muscles moving, and it looks so awesome on this fabric. So I'm going to do that all the way to the bottom and then on the top, and then we'll move on to pinning them and sewing them onto the dress.
As your world starts spinning, is your head spinning too? Should I stop or are you falling for me?
I'm having a bit of a bobbin issue, I think. It's just not, the tension isn't right on the bottom no matter what I do, so I think it's like a winding issue. But I don't want to waste the thread because it's fine. Like it's just not neat on the outside to be able to do the flounce seam, because that'll be like right here, and I just don't want it to be all bubbly the way that it is. So I've pinned together the flounce to the skirt, and how the skirt is sort of shaped like this, and then this is how it would fold over, is like this, if that makes sense. But then you have the flounces all the way up to those corners. So the flounce goes all the way around, and then the waist would be like here between the flounces. So I've got that all pinned together following the chalk marks, and I'm just going to sew it together, and then I'm going to zigzag it together, and hopefully by then the thread is low enough that it's not a problem to just unwind and rewind. I have had to take this flounce apart like 4 times. I think this is the 4th time I'm doing it, and it's just clearly flounces are my nemesis. So that's what we're working with today. It's too bad they are so cute and so pretty, because yikes.
Is your head spinning too?
Okay, please forgive what is happening here. I have a lot happening, and it's not translating well to my background. So that's a thing. But I broke a needle for the first time in my sewing machine. I've never done that before. So I had to build up the courage to change it, because I was just like, you know when you hit a wall and you're like, that's it. That's where I draw the line. I drew the line. But now I'm back. I'm going to try and get this done. I've got the ruffle sewn to the skirt, and oh my goodness, does it look so cute. I'm really excited. But now I've got the ruffle pinned to the top, and I just have to stay stitch it, and then I have to figure out what the next instructions are telling me, because I just don't understand them. I've read them like 4 times, and I have no idea. So I'm going to stay stitch I'm going to stay stitch the ruffle in, and then I'm going to figure out the interfacing, and we're going to try and finish the top. I'm still really confused on the next steps. I think it's going to be just take a step by step and trust the process. I've got the 2 interfacing, because it has you make 2 different interfacings. For the neckline, I have them here, and then it says you fold over the outer edge seam and iron it down, and then you put them right sides together, and then you sew on the inner edge. So I've got them all clipped together on the inside, and then we're just going to sew up and around on the inside seam. That's what it says, so that's what I'm doing. All right, let's figure this out. Okay, it took a lot of just staring at the paper to figure this out, but I got there. Okay, so you sew it on the inside, and then you flip it open, and then you sew one of the folded seams. You open it all up, and then you sew one of the folded seams onto the neckline. And then what we're gonna do, once this is sewn here, then we're gonna flip this over and sew it there like a top stitch. I got there. The iron's not on, by the way. I know you guys can see beans walking around in my disaster, and there's an iron on the floor, but it is not on, I promise. So now that I have this sewn here, the next thing to do is to then take this piece and fold it over and line up the seams and sew it. And that's how it's done. I figured it out. So let's do that. Let's sew it together, and then we're going to move on to attaching the skirt. I totally messed up. So I I didn't realize that there was an easier way to do this. So I sewed it like this, flat like this down here. But all you have to do is just fold them together on the side like this and sew here. So I have to seam rip and then do it again. It's okay. I'm going to fix this and sew it this way now. So instead of trying to match it up and sewing it like this, it's hard to see with the black. Sewing it like this, we are going to just take the whole seam here, because it's open here like this. We're just going to take this, close the seam, and then just sew along this line instead, because then it'll flip out exactly like this, which is the easiest way to do it. And I don't know why I made it so complicated. But that's what we're gonna do. Okay, you are gonna have the band doing some weird folding things when it's flat. Trust the process, because I didn't. I was very concerned that I'd got it wrong. But when it folds the way it's supposed to, everything goes the way that it's supposed to. So that's awesome. The bodice is done. What's next? Okay, so the next thing we do is we are going to sew the skirt onto the bodice. So we're gonna match all that up and sew the skirt on. So let's do that.
My heart stopped when I first saw you. My world stopped spinning. Now my world revolves around you.
What? Really? What? Was that necessary? Apparently she thought it was.
Did your heart stop when you first saw me?
I have the bodice and the dress sewn together, and now they are asking us to do the waistband. So that's just sew down like you would a strap, and then turn it. So we're gonna do that with both, and then zigzag the open edge or overlock if you have an overlock. I do not. I wish. So I'm just gonna zigzag the end, and then we'll be attaching the waistbands. We're like so close to being done. I am so excited for how this dress is gonna look. Like every time I just try it on to see how it's gonna look, I'm so excited. So let's get this done. And here is the dress. It's really hard to see because it's so black, but this is one of my favorite dresses I've ever worn, let alone made. I love this fabric. I love it so much. I love the way it falls. So much so that I ordered more, and there's gonna be another project coming from my mom using this fabric. I'm very excited about that. That's gonna be a fun one. She is getting a little outside her comfort zone, and that's what we like to do here. So, this dress, so pretty. It's so long. I will insert some cinematography shots.
Did your world stop spinning? Does your world revolve around me? Me too. Me too.
You may have already seen them. Just to show how it sort of moves, but that's really hard to do in my studio. I wish I could go outside and film this, but I live in a city and it is cold, and I'd have to walk to the forest in a dress, and I'm just here trying to entertain you and make shit and live my best life, and freezing my butt off does not sound like a good time. I may reshoot some stuff in the spring or summer though. If you really want to see it out in the wilderness, let me know. I would love to do that. But yeah, let's get into it. I love this dress. I love it so much. Okay, how easy, clear were the instructions and the construction? It was fairly clear. Like, I'd give that a 9 out of 10. It was fairly easy. If you're going to start with a wrap dress, this felt complicated because all the pieces were really big, but once you got into it, you're like, oh, easy peasy. I was concerned because how she does the pattern is, or how this designer does the pattern is, they do it all on open fabric, not on the fold. I just feel so thin and gorgeous in this dress. Like, I just feel like I'm gonna be show stealing. Like, that's how this dress feels. I'm just gonna steal the show. How are you doing? It feels great. But yeah, it was a little overwhelming having them be on open fabric. That was really overwhelming, but once it got done, it was done and it felt great. There wasn't really a lot of customization. Like, I don't think you could customize this much. You might be able to add a sleeve if you tried really hard. So I'm gonna give it like a 4 for customization. There's just not a lot there without like really pushing it. I guess you could not put the ruffle on. Let's go 5. We'll go 5 for customization. The price was, let me see, I got it on Etsy. They do have their own store as well, Georgette Patterns, if you would prefer purchasing through their website. I would prefer that, except I've been burned before where I haven't saved the files quickly enough and they're gone, or they expire on the PDF, and that's really frustrating to keep having to go, hi, can I have that pattern back? Thanks. I hate doing that. So I prefer purchasing off Etsy just for that. This is the Georgette Patterns. The Michelle wrap dress is what this is. And it is $16 Canadian. I got it on sale for just shy of $8 Canadian, which is fairly good. They have sales relatively often. However, I would pay full price for this dress. I would pay more for this dress, which seems to be the pattern that I've been seeing on online patterns, like smaller company PDF patterns. I am seeing a pattern. That was a poor joke. I'm so sorry, you guys. But yes, 10 out of 10. Run. Do not walk. Run to make this dress. It is so beautiful, and it's going to be perfect for summer. If you're looking for the perfect fabric, look no further. Fabric Wholesale Direct has an incredibly diverse color palette of rayon challis. It's a bit heavier, so it hangs a bit heavier. The drape is absolutely gorgeous. It's so gorgeous, guys. Not sponsored. I just love their rayon challis. I love it so much. They have a beautiful, like, dusty pink. If any of you get that and make stuff, you have to show me, because I'm just, I love it so much. But yeah, so overall, I would probably say, let's go with an 8 thimbles, just because of that customization not being there. However, who needs to customize a dress when it's this fabulous? Like, really though? Nobody. Yeah, we're gonna make it a 9. It's a 9 out of 10 thimbles, you guys. It's so good. It's so beautiful. I love it so much. The only thing I would maybe do next time is make the flounces just a little longer in the shoulders. I've got fairly broad shoulders, and sometimes that just is something I like to cover up. But like I said, we are growing our comfort zones here. Next dress will be another industrial pattern. I believe it is a Simplicity wrap dress, and spoilers, it is not going well. So stay tuned for that. We'll see you there. Also, if you haven't heard, I have an Instagram so that you guys can share all of the stuff you're creating with me, because I want to see it all. Seriously, you know that friend that you call and you're like, I want to tell you everything that I'm making, and they're like, let me be that friend. I want to hear everything you guys are making. So down and below, there will be a link to the Instagram and a link and a quick blurb about the tag to use so that I can search up all the stuff you guys are creating. I'm so excited. Okay, we'll see you in the next one.
I keep on